All right, Mr. Word. Sashi Mugi Jushi Meto Cham Rira Mingshi Nende Genpali Sangye Shindu Nide Uwargi Doku Namda Shingla Chuparsho Idam Guru Rana Mandala Kamyatayami Sangye Chudam Soki Chonam La Changju Bardu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Chenyen Gipe Sunam Gi Dola Penchir Sangye Druparsho Sangye Chudam Sogi Chonam La Changju Bardu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Chunyen Gipe Sunam Ki Dola Penchir Sangye Druparsho Sangye Chudam Sogi Chonam La Changchu Bardu Dagni Kyapsuji Dagi Chunyen Gipe Sunam Gi Dolar Penchir Sangye Druparsho. All right. Wait. Let's wake up the Romanians. All right. You're welcome, Octavian.
Just want to remind you, we were supposed to start at 7:30 for word, and you like have 30 minutes before.
Yeah, we're okay. I have a plan.
You're going with Spock's today.
Okay, do you want to read here slowly? Don't go too fast when you're reading from me, because then I can harass you.
Harassing and harassing.
That's why I went fast.
Both harass and harass? Wow.
Yes. Okay. Daytar.
Day. Now listen, day means a group, right? A school. Day means that. Day.
Oh, yeah.
Day. It doesn't exist in English.
Right.
Don't be fooled by the D. Day.
Day.
Daytar.
Daytar. Ludru.
Ludu.
Ludru. Ki. Jesu. Tokme. Ki.
Good.
Sem. Sam.
Excuse me. By the way, when you read out loud for a teacher or in a class, you exaggerate. So you would say tome ki, because sometimes it's assumed that other students don't have the text. Okay.
Tokme ki. Sem samgi. Tawe.
Tawe, the limit.
Tawe.
Tawe. Say ta.
Ta.
Tawe.
Ta.
Yeah. It's not an accent thing, it's a tone thing. I mean, it's an aspiration thing. It's not tawe. It's just tawe. Ta. It's ta. Okay? Tawe.
Tawe. Roge.
No.
Oh. Sol.
Sul. Yeah, sul. Umlaut o. Sul. Kepa.
Solge. Par. Tu.
First column, no aspiration.
Tu.
Tupa.
Tupa. Tupana. Lopin. Ki. Lop. Le.
Ng is high tone, and it's a difference. See, ng means functional thing or direct. Ng means the face of something. We talked about it. Ng lop.
Nulop. Lektenje.
Yeah, heavy. Traditionally, we do this word with two heavy prenasals. Leng denje.
Really?
Yeah, leng denje.
Lengdenje.
Good.
La sope. Namshe Mawe.
Good. High tone. Mawe.
Mawe.
Yeah.
Dupa.
Ndupa.
Dupa. Namge par.
Num.
Nam.
Okay. Num means sky. Namka. And num means plural. Num.
Namge par ku.
And no aspiration. Gune.
Kune.
Yeah.
Gopar jeto.
Ngokpa chedo.
Gopar jeto.
Chedo.
Jeto.
To.
Do.
Again, the same thing that we started with.
Yeah.
Te.
De.
Okay.
Do.
Teta Luduki Jesu. What's Jesu?
After.
What's the Sanskrit?
Anu.
Oh man. Togmeki. Togmeki.
Baya Sangha.
Yeah, it indicates the subject of the sentence. The verb is sultupa. Okay? Sultupa. Okay, this tupa without the S. With the S it means B-S-T-O-D.
It means a praise song.
To praise, yeah. And this one, sultu, means to found a system.
Right, to find out.
Okay, so he founded at, extensively, founded an extensive presentation of the Tawa,
The view
of the symptom.
of the mind-only school.
Yeah, so after Nagarjuna, then Asanga came and founded at length the ideas of the mind-only school. By the way, here's where you finally find out that Nagarjuna had nothing to do with it. So he had a long story about Nagarjuna, and he talked about Nagarjuna, and you're thinking, oh, it must be, because the question was, when did this school start? And then the guy says, well, Nagarjuna. And then you're thinking, oh, I'm going to write an essay, in this magazine about how it was really Nagarjuna. And then you get here and it says, by the way, he didn't do anything with the minor. It was Asanga. Okay. Okay, go. Tepana. Lopen ki ngulop.
The master.
Masters. Ngulop or gulop? We had it with Adam. We had ngugyu and gyugyu.
Yeah, that's right.
I push him.
Indirect and direct.
Yeah, okay. So this ngu means direct. It doesn't mean functional thing or anything like that, okay? Direct lopa.
Student, direct.
Yeah,
student.
so this is a claim, which I don't know if Western scholars would accept. And I don't know the history, Geshis don't know any history, to tell you the truth. This is about it. His direct disciple, Lengdenje, Baba Viveka, who founded which school? Sugang?
Lower
Middle way, yeah. Okay, good. La Sokpe, people like him, he and other people. Namshe Mawa is the same as Neldra Chupa. I'm tricking you. And it worked.
Yogacharya.
It almost worked.
Yogacharya school.
So
So
Namshe Mawa,
The mind-only school. Yeah.
it means, there's probably a Sanskrit, like Vijnana Bhasha or something.
We did it like the first day. Yeah,
That was a different one, I think.
It was a different.
Nampa Rigpas.
That was number
Yeah.
So now you have 4 synonyms for mind only
Now-
school.
yeah.
Semtamba, mind only. Nelja Pachupa, the practitioners. Namrikpa,
Yeah, which we never came.
the mentalists. And now you have the Namshe Mawa, those who assert consciousness, meaning those 2 extra consciousnesses.
Oh, really?
Okay, okay. Namshe Mawa, Dupanam,
Agreed.
their beliefs. Gepar Kus, you had Gepar Tu up here, now you have Gepar Ku. He's playing with you. Gepar Ku means set forth in
spread.
detail. No, he didn't spread them, he didn't believe in them. This is Baba Viveka, right? So he described in detail what the mind-only school believed, and then Gokpa them.
Denied them.
Yeah, and then, so what he's implying is that a lot of what we know about the mind-only school
Oh, it comes from Baba Viveka.
comes from
denial of them.
Yeah, it comes from Sugang school criticizing them. So we get more information in the criticism than we got about the school in the first place.
Got it.
Okay, so Baba Viveka, who meant to criticize them, becomes a good source for them. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, good. Deta China.
Data and they did, and so they did. And if they,
Given all that, okay, Deta China, because of all that,
because of all that,
Dedaki din jungte. Thus it was that that their ideas came out. Okay, or these points came to be in historically. Okay, jung. Tupa. So he's going to repeat the process. For some reason, Jetsun Kappa wants to drill it in. The fact of the degeneration of these schools, and then okay. So here we go. Tupa nyangen le depe j.
The able one.
Yeah.
In his after the able ones went into parinirvana.
Good. His final nirvana. Chedak Mawa.
The Vaibhashika school.
Yeah. Why are they called Vaibhashika?
Because they profess certain
They follow a certain book called Chidakta Shipa. The detailed description. Okay.
Oh, yeah, the details.
Soki.
And schools like that?
Yeah. The Panditas.
Of schools like that?
They composed some past tense. Okay. Some can mean to initiate or to begin an action. Okay, like to start off on a project is called some, but it also means to compose a book. They composed the Ngumba Dedun.
The 7 books of Abhidharma.
Yeah, and I went and got them for you.
Sweet.
Okay.
Salud.
And while I was looking for it, I found something else that was interesting to me. So we're going to do a slight detour. Okay. Here's something that comes in the biography of the Lamas of the Lamrim. Okay. And let's read this together, because I didn't know this, and I think it's going to be helpful to you and to Stanley. Okay. Ngumba. Read it.
Numba.
Yep.
Dedungi. Ne.
Ne.
Ne. Kundu. Pe.
Not pay. That would be fathers. Pei.
Pe.
No aspiration.
Pe.
Tenchu.
Tenchu.
Now read backwards.
The commentaries of
Which
the abbreviated commentaries. All
no,
the abbreviated
which kundu,
Kundu.
which summarizes in its entirety.
Summarizes its entirety.
The ne.
The crucial points.
Yeah, of the 7 books of Abhidharma. There's another book which summarizes all the points of the 7 books of Abhidharma, and its name is Chidaktu Shipa.
Cool.
Explanation of the detail lists?
Well, the detailed explanation.
Oh, detailed explanation.
Yeah, so I didn't know that.
Oh.
So apparently the book that gave the Vaibhashikas their name is a summary of the 7 books of Abhidharma.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know that. I just learned that. Shepa Chimbo. It's called the great detailed explanation. Okay, Shejawa. Then he's going to tell you how long it is.
Oh.
Bambo Gegya.
800 verses.
Bambo is a measure. It's an arbitrary measure of the length of a book. So in ACIP, when we put a book in the catalog, we give the byte count in the catalog. Traditionally, I mean, we haven't done it for a while, but byte count means how many bits, how many zeros and ones in the code, in the whole book. Like A is composed of how many bits? I don't know. The letter A. A 6? 8?
Yeah.
So
They're all 8.
we give it down to the number of bytes Because that means if someone changes it and puts it up online, we know they changed it. You see? And in the old days, they did bumbles instead of bytes. So, okay. And a bumble, I forget, but I mean a typical large book might have 5 bumbles or something.
Oh, so it's a big
Okay,
300
10.
verses.
Is it 300 verses? Okay.
Very large.
So multiply that times 800.
That's pretty serious.
And
Yeah.
that's the
10
Chedok,
volumes.
that's Chedok Shipa.
How much is that? 240,000 or something?
Anyway, it's a lot.
It's a
Okay, some means approximately. Okay, about, or some in English, it's got some 800 bumbles,
Oh, cool.
meaning more or less. Yeah, petenju chambo de la.
The commentary, the large commentary.
Now this is a story of a lama who got up to the 12th bumble of the 800 and did a good job. Okay. All right. He got to the 12th. Okay. Okay. So that the information we find there is that you could do a little footnote about this book. I always wondered if it existed. I guess it doesn't.
So we don't know who wrote it or anything like that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably you can find it. It might be a compilation, right? I think it's a compendium of the 7 books of Abhidharma. Now there's a famous verse that gives the 7 books of Abhidharma, and I went and got it for you. It's right here.
Cool.
Okay. And this is from A History of Buddhism by Bhutan, which is right there in English, okay? And he identifies the book and the author. So Choki Pungbo. Okay, the Choki Pungbo.
The skanda, the dharma, skanda dharma, the heap of dharma.
I like to translate, in English, you can say he gave me a heap of BS or something like that.
Yeah.
But normally you say, it's like a mountain. So I have translated it in the past. When it means a lot, a heck of a lot, I've translated it as a mountain, That's like a mountain of BS. Okay, so the mountain of Dharma, written by Shariputra. Okay, that's the first of the 7 books of Abhidharma. Second one, Dakpa Tenche. I couldn't find. I struggled with this 30 years ago. It's just like Dakpa is like attributed, or I don't know. You worry about it. Let's see what Lokas, what's his name, Sarat Chandra Das says. It's like attributed, or it's Dakpa, right? Let's see what he says. Buckled. It means to be connected to. Okay, but it's the word that you use for connecting a concept to the parts. Dokpa. It's related to the word project. Impute. Okay, so I don't know.
Kundak? Is it same dak and kundak?
Yeah, similar root. Yeah,
Similar root.
yeah. So I don't know. I call it the book of attributions or something like that, because nobody knows what it's about. Kam Kitsokni. The collection of categories.
Categories.
Okay.
Calm.
Kam. Yeah.
Not the collection of realms.
Not realms. Probably the 18 categories, but there's many kams, as you know. Kangbo is Purna. Okay. His name is Kangbo.
Oh, his name.
Was written by Purna. Okay. Namshe Tsokni, the collection of consciousnesses, written by Hlaki. So you can look these up yourself, but if you want some help, you can go to Lokas Chandra. He doesn't have it. If you're not sure, you can expand it to Hla Nirki in case there's something between them. Okay? Still nothing. When you get desperate, you can go to all the Sanskrit, because there's some other Sanskrit dictionaries dumped in there. Okay? That's his. I think. And you can spend a few days there. No further matches. I don't know. Then you go online and see if someone identified who's lucky. Okay? Yeshila Jupa, entering into knowledge, right? This is a mistake for Katyepu, okay? Sorry. Okay. Katyayana, I think. Raptuchepa, the divisions, which can mean chapters, okay, of Yikshe. I wonder if that's Vasubandhu. I don't know.
When we see Bu in those cases, does it usually indicate a direct disciple?
It's mostly Putra, right? So,
His son, right?
like in Shariputra, it's the son of Shalima.
Yeah, his mom.
Yeah, so you don't know for sure. Let's see if you... I don't know if this is separate from Vasubandhu. It's not there. Good luck. Try to find it. It could be Yignian,
Yeah.
but it could not be. Okay, good luck. This one I like because it's called... there's synonyms, namdang, or different names for pure going. Who knows what that is? Okay, I don't know. I believe some of these might still exist. You can check into it. Or actually, Stanley's job. Okay, these are the place from where Vasubandhu got his Abhidharma Kosha. He used these 7. And sometimes they say the treasure house of higher knowledge, the jewels in the treasure house are these 7. Sometimes they describe it that way. They say his treasure chest has the jewels of the 7 books of Abhidharma, which were written by direct disciples of Lord Buddha. Okay, so in some cases. Supoche means big belly. Okay, I like this one. I don't know if his name, here it is. Mahakoshtila. Okay. Anyway, you can look them all up. Okay. I'm sure someone has them. It might be in the Pali tradition.
Yeah.
Okay. You might even exist in the Pali tradition. I don't know.
The text.
Yeah.
So we don't necessarily. They're not in the Tengyur.
I don't know. I never looked it up. I don't think so. Yeah, I think the Abhidharma Kosha is the first thing in the thing. I'm not sure. I added this part because I thought, because it's relevant to your text and to your text, I think. Kache chedatu mawanare. Kache means from, nowadays it means Muslim. It means big mouth, but it refers to the inhabitants of
Kashmir?
Middle East.
Kashmir, yeah. So it doesn't mean Muslim here, it means Kashmiri. So that Kashmiri became synonymous with Muslim. So nowadays in Tibet, there are Muslims, Uyghurs, and other Muslim minorities, and they're called Kache, which literally means Kashmiri, because I guess they came from Kashmir. So the Kashmiri Vaibhashikas say, Dumbo di ka. These 7 are ka.
The word of the Buddha?
Yeah, they're not Tengyur. They would be in the Kangyur if they had their way. Okay, why? Tumbe yu du kansa tadela sumba. Torbu means scattered. So the Lord Buddha, the teacher, spoke them in scattered places, scattered people, in different localities, at different times in his life, to different people. So they were spoken by Buddha, but they never got put together. So nyen tu dachombe, the listener arhats collected them and put them into one place. Those arhats, these 7 are sometimes thought of as all arhats, okay? Hinayana Arhats. And so they're not written by those Arhats, they're just collected by those Arhats. It's like the Chedajupe Tsom. This is a book that does exist nowadays, which is Tsom means a collection of. Chedajupa means aimed at certain disciples. Chedu for the purpose of jupa spoken. Chedajupa means meant for a specific audience. And there's a collection, and it's often quoted in Alarm Rim. So they say it's like that. And they make a further claim, ser, okay, claim. And they make a further claim that if they were not the Buddha's word, then here's a mistake here, okay, this should be matsang. Then the 3 pitakas would be incomplete. One of them would be missing, which is?
The Abhidharma.
Yeah, there'd be no Abhidharma Pitaka. If you say these 7 are not spoken by the Buddha, there's no other Abhidharma, then there's only 2 Pitakas. Then you'd be a master of the Divi Pitaka. Okay, the 2 Pitakas, yes.
Master Xuanzang translated all of them.
All 7? Wow. Well, that'd be useful. That'd be really useful.
Hard to read also.
I don't think they exist in Tibetan, although you could check in the Tingir, I'm not sure. But that'd be cool. There may be pieces of them left, I don't know. Okay. So I went on that side trip to give you the 7, okay?
Yeah.
And that'll take some research. And up here it claims that the book that the Vaibhashika were named from is a summary of those 7, but a huge summary. Okay, and I don't know if it still exists. Okay, so Chetudmao Soki Pandit and Nam, those pandits, those wise sages of the Vaibhashika. Here it says composed the 7 books of Abhidharma. Okay, and in so doing, Ranranki Dupta Gepachete, they spread their own schools, because there were more than one school inside the Abhidharma, right? I think 18 schools or something. So they spread their own schools, and Doidun Shenduterne, they interpreted the meaning of the sutras otherly, meaning they gave different interpretations of the sutras, and in so doing, they made Che, the precious teachings, Tenpa Rinpoche, Chimachen.
Stained.
Yeah,
Impure.
they polluted.
Yeah.
Okay, they made stinky. Adam had a bunch of chimas yesterday. He had a bunch of teas. He had Jochungi tea, composed smells, Lenge smells, Shimbo smells, Mi Shimbo smells, good smells, bad smells, tea. But here it means they messed it up. They sullied the precious teachings. Who's talking? Yeah, Jetson Kappa, right? Yeah. That's pretty heavy for Jetson Kappa to say that. Okay. Then he quotes, Lungi Dupche, which means what? As opposed to Rikpe Dupche.
Yeah. Scriptural authority?
Support. Dupche, prover. Okay. Lungi Dupche, Tope Dupche. Yeah. That's Chai. This is J, to do. But same idea. So it means scriptural support. Prover. Dupche. Okay, so scriptural support here. Jikedu, as we see.
Excuse me.
Okay, as we see. She's never up this early.
That's Nicole. She's
Yeah, that's
great
why.
to teach yoga. Yeah.
Okay, I knew it wasn't Aaron. Okay, as it says, he doesn't say what. Okay. Tumba jikten migni sumgyurching. Okay, the jiktengi mig.
The eyes of the world?
Yeah, the eyes of the world, which is the Buddha.
Oh,
Tumba,
really?
our teacher, capital T, who is the eyes of the world, the only one who sees everything in this whole world. Sum means to shut your eyes or your mouth. Okay, zoom or zoom. It can refer to flowers that shut at night. Okay,
Is it related to zone? Like to
no, zoom, zoom. Okay, the eyes of the world cure what tense?
past?
Yeah, the eyes of the world shut, meaning Lord Buddha passed away. Okay, the eyes of the world shut. Then what happened? Now, what's this have to be?
A sponge?
No, I mean, Wang.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh, yeah,
Duh.
of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
Wang cure.
Oh, yeah. Fine, yeah.
Those powerful beings. Pelcher means the majority of them, most of them.
Mostly.
Avatansaka, right? Pelchen Depa, she struggled with it. The majority of the powerful beings, Sepa, past tense of Zepa, to wear out, to pass away, to fade. They faded, okay? The powerful beings faded. And then Ngen Tok means wrong ideas. Okay, Ngenpa is the opposite of Yapo. Okay,
Bad.
I'll teach you some good curse word. People remember them. Go like this. Dang in. Dang in. Day means a sign, a portent.
Yeah.
Ngen means bad.
Yeah.
And it means like someone runs in and says, Jigme's car broke down this morning. You say, dang man. It means like, God damn it. Okay. It means bad sign, but it just means
Polite to say that?
never. But if you want to be cool, something happens bad, like, I don't know, you lost your plane ticket, you go, dang man. All the Tibetans go, wow. Okay, so there's Ngen. Ngen to. Bad, wrong ideas, right? No S. Right? No S here. Not Ratox. Okay, the bad ideas, Truk. Truk means to shake up. To, what do you call that? This is called Truk. When you take this and you go like this, it's called Truk. Yeah, we'll be shaken or, I don't know.
Mix up?
Agitate something.
It means that Temba was struck by the bad ideas.
Yeah.
The teaching of Lord Buddha was,
Mixed up with?
Mixed with.
No.
it's not mixed, it implies disorder
Yeah.
or, messed up.
Contaminated maybe.
No, it's not contaminated, it's mishmash.
Yeah, mishmash.
Mishmash, or something like that, okay? It means disorder, melee,
Strew.
it means like jumbled. How about jumbled?
Jumbled is.
Okay, so it feels like jumbled, okay? Because those people with those ngentoks, Deni Matong,
I could not
The
see.
emptiness.
they hadn't seen reality,
I hadn't seen
the
reality.
meaning emptiness,
Mhm.
and they just wrote things rangar.
That they came up with?
Yeah, whatever they came up with, yeah. Rangar means as you please yourself. Okay, as they pleased. Okay. Now, I want to show you an interesting statistical search. Okay, I like this kind of stuff. There's a rare word called bang. Okay, and there's a very common word called wang. And I'm going to search in the Sumbum. Okay.
You gotta check at the top there.
I wish I could get a check. Actually, I did get a check. $50 from my dentist.
From your dentist?
Yeah, he's like, from your dentist? I don't know why, and I didn't ask. I just
Cashed it.
cash it.
You got a beautiful mouth. $50 for you, $50.
Okay, look, there's 2,000 punks, okay? and many of them are mistakes for Wang. Okay.
Especially everything that says bung.
And there's 146,000 Wang. Okay, the Pang and the Bang. Okay. So which one is in the typist's hand is Wang, and in your head. Okay, you see DPANG, your mind's gonna make a DBANG. Okay. And then, I looked at this text. I was reviewing it for you, and I looked at that bang and I said, it's probably Wang, right? Because Wang Gyur is very common. Became the master. But when I searched for this quotation, I found it at the end of the Abhidhammakosha. It's from the Abhidhammakosha.
Oh, when the teacher
So today's it's just before that. So today's expostulation, which we just reached, is in the case of something that has a Sanskrit, you can go check the Sanskrit. Okay, now you're all thinking I don't know Sanskrit, and what I'm here to tell you is you don't have to. Okay, why? Because you have the database. Okay, so I'm going to show you. Okay, how you can, with no Sanskrit, you can use the Sanskrit to check a reading. And this is really from my heart, okay? And you don't have to know Sanskrit, really, to use it to check a reading, okay? So I went and got you the Sanskrit. Nick helped. And, okay. And here's this verse, okay? And if you're just jackass patient, right? If you're just persistent, you can piece together the Sanskrit with no Sanskrit. Okay, so you take the first thing. Now, what I want to teach you is, don't use the endings. Okay, ate, ignore it. Okay, it could be a declension. It could be a verb tenses. Ignore it. Go for the first 4 or 5 letters. Okay, and with no Sanskrit, you can figure out was it bang or wang. Okay, with no Sanskrit. Okay, I'm telling you, it's cool. So take nimi. Okay, don't ignore the long vowels because otherwise you get problems.
Long I.
Yeah, in our system, we use a hash mark. Okay, why? Because our typist now ACIP system for inputting data is an inputting data system. It's not what you're going to put in your bibliography. It's not what your reader is going to see. Okay? It's a system that lays below that. And it's the cheapest, easiest way to type in huge amounts of data. You don't have the person control. It's actually option A. You don't have them option A, then you get a macron, and then they let go, and then they hit A, and the A goes under the macron. We don't do that. They just get A hash mark and they keep going. That's a long A. Okay, so how did we decide? It was just one late night in Ceremonious there, and I said, okay, just use a hash mark, because it has a bar, in it. And the percentage sign has a circle in it, and that looks like the dot you put under the R. And I just did it like that. Okay.
Where are those, the Sanskrit standards? Not the Tibetanized Sanskrit, but the Sanskrit.
The input standard is everything's in release 4.
It is, okay.
The last book we ever put out.
File with all everything in it.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's up in our
And the
Dropbox
point is,
where you learn to
the point is that you can type Sanskrit extremely fast by using that. But it's not some standard that anybody else has used. It's only meant to be the underlying data, which is fast to input. And then anybody, any idiot in the world, in 2 minutes can convert it to whatever they want. If they can't, then they shouldn't be, using a computer. Okay, with Word, in Word, okay, you can convert it to whatever you want. So stop complaining. You want Kyoto, Harvard, all we say to people is, here's the data, you change it to whatever you want. Because there's 20 systems for Sanskrit. So we refuse to fight with you guys. Here's the base data, here's the input data, you make it your own way. And I don't know, Phil, how long would it take to do a routine to change all of them? And no, I mean, how long would it take you to change to do it, to change all the...
I've done it. It's 7 find and replaces.
Yeah, so it's, 3 minutes?
No, it's barely.
It's
Yeah.
no
nothing.
more than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, so it's 3 minutes to change our system to any system you want.
Okay.
So stop hassling me. You know, we just made it for fast typing. Okay? And to be honest, it's a system they should have used. The world. But I don't care. You know, go make it any way you want. You know, go change it to whatever you want. You know, put little Z's everywhere. I don't care.
You can make an automator.
Explain to them how.
Yeah, you have to give this explanation to people because they will complain about it. I never saw that. Yes, I know you never saw it. Why did you do that? We can type twice as fast. We can put in double the data for the same money, and we don't have enough money. You want to make a donation?
That's good.
That always shuts up anybody. They're like, well, no, you know, it's probably okay. It's just probably okay. You will find it's extremely easy to use, okay? Get used to it. Okay, so we go to Chandra. What's a word there that's close to one that we want?
Shum.
Zoom, shum, same thing. This is the eye closed part, okay? You don't know Sanskrit, okay? This is to close the eye, okay? Okay, got it?
Yeah.
Okay, then
Nimilate.
Shastra. Okay, just do Shasta. Okay, go to Shasta. Same system, right? Okay. What's that? What's here?
Tempe.
That's the teacher part. Okay, and you just go like that. Okay, here's the teacher part.
Loka.
Loka, you know, which is eye. Chakshu is eye. Loka is world. Eyes of the world. This must be the eyes of the world part. Okay, just go like that. You know, Kshaya happens to be to wear out. Gate, you know, from Gate Gate.
To go.
Happened.
Went.
Okay, here it's just happened. I hate this keyboard. I know, it sucks. They're just trying to save money. Now, Sakshi. Okay. Oops. Go to Sakshi. You don't know what it means. You don't know Sanskrit. What I'm trying to prove to you is you don't need to. Because you have the database. Okay, Sakshi. I'm waiting for it. There's one sexy one I want to show you.
Uh-huh. Oh.
Well, I cut through all those.
Jeshi.
Hmm. There you go.
Good old pun.
Okay, it was Pang. So with no Sanskrit, you confirm the reading. Okay, and it's an unusual reading. Okay, the odds are 100 to 1 it was supposed to be Wang, but it wasn't. It was Pang. Okay, got it? So you can do it. You know, you can do it yourself. That's my expostulation today. It doesn't cost you your time. You can take a half hour out of this stuff. Yes, please.
Where did we get the Sanskrit?
That's Nicole Vigna's job. And she's got Sanskrit for all of you. Okay.
Oh yeah, she's.
So now we have two strategies on the Sanskrit. Number one, we have a very experienced, two very intense teams in India looking for the Sanskrit. No one's ever, you lost your cord. No one's ever put the Sanskrit back together of the Kangyur and Tengyur. No one's done it. People have tried and quit. We're still going. Okay, so we have a very intense team in South India, Kerala. They put in 5 million scans. Okay, and we have another team in North India, so you're going to get Nagarjuna type of stuff down in South India. You're going to get Kamala Shila type of stuff up in North India, you see? And so we have two teams looking. And then we have a very beautiful team sitting at their computer in different countries looking online for stuff. Because there's more stuff online now than in the villages. Because villages put this book I found at my father's house, and they put it up online. And nobody knows about it. So we have teams that spend all days. Aisha, she spends all day. She found Kamala Shila a few days ago.
Wow.
Okay, I've been looking for it forever.
Wow.
And they found it online. Yeah, some guy just put it up there. Said I found this. He found his text last night.
Is that where that was from that you were just showing us?
What's that?
That verse that you were looking at that had that was from.
No, that's Abhidhamma Kosha. Yeah, and that was delivered to me 2 days ago. Okay, from our input center in Varanasi. So okay, cool. So this is Pang. So now it no longer means the ones of power are slowly fading. It means those who were witnesses are fading. Pang means witness. Witness to what?
To the Buddha's teachings.
Yeah, to Lord Buddha.
Yeah.
He passed away, and now the witnesses are fading.
His disciples.
Okay, and it's extremely rare word, but you confirmed it. I'll tell you something else sexy, which you know I was lecturing Veronica about this morning. She's like, yeah, okay, I'm going back to bed. You know, so when you have a long A, what's it mean?
Very.
Oh, very much.
Two sometimes.
Well, it means 2 short A's have come together.
Yeah.
Or a long A and a short A have come together.
Short A and a long A.
Okay,
Or
but let's
two
take
long
it as a 2 short A's. What does sakshi mean?
Sa aksha.
Yeah, sa, aksha. What's aksha?
Aksha's eyes. Isn't it?
Yeah, the eyes.
See.
Chakshu and eye is the same thing. Chakshu and aksha is the same thing. Okay, so what's it mean?
It's,
Sa means to possess.
With eyes.
Oh. Those
Yeah.
who saw it.
Yeah, the eyes. Those with eyes means witness. It's so cool.
Those
Okay, eye havers. Who means who saw Lord Buddha, who witnessed Lord Buddha. Okay, they're called eye havers. Saksha. Okay, cool.
That's cool.
There's another one there. Oh yeah, okay, that's another story. Okay. Anyway, there you go. Jetsun Kappa is using that quotation to support his idea that the Vaibhajikas messed up the Buddhist teaching in the 700 years between Lord Buddha passing away and Nagarjuna showing up. Okay? All right, sorry, Stanley. Okay. Okay, and he said, Trukso, the teaching got jumbled. I like jumbled. It feels like jumbled, okay? Trukso. By the way, if you want a famous example of truk, it's a very high tantric vow that you can't truk your lama's eat.
Jumble your lama's mind.
Yeah, you shouldn't disturb your lama.
No,
You shouldn't upset them.
Yeah.
Can you upset another person?
so we're safe.
No? Okay. Yeah. As long as you understand the pen, you can do anything you want.
Can I ask a question? Where do we find these Sanskrit texts?
Ask Nicole Vigna. She's in charge of Sanskrit
Oh,
text.
she hasn't actually put them in the drawer.
Yeah, they are. I'll put them in there.
I asked her to assemble all the Sanskrit texts for your guys' texts.
Yeah.
Yours doesn't matter because it's only one
I
line.
have most.
Okay. Well, it's one line of the Sanskrit. Okay. So usually there's 2 Tibetan lines for 1 Sanskrit line.
Yeah, I'll put them up tomorrow.
Okay.
Chance.
So he uses that as one scriptural proof for his statement that they said they could gather together these 7 books of Abhidharma, and then they proceeded to adulterate the teachings. Okay. Then he said, "Dini tumbe sung solo." This is very famous. Okay. Who wrote the Abhidharma Kosha? Vasubandhu. Did he believe it?
Zero.
You're right at the end.
Zero.
He did not. Okay? So the story is, I mean, briefly, and you should find it. I mean, it's probably in the Lamrim teacher's stories, but his brother went to Taxila, which is where Thomas the disciple ended up, and maybe where Mahayana started, I don't know. But in Afghanistan, now it's in Afghanistan. Xuanzang went there, and it was a Buddhist university there. And his brother got converted to Mahayana. A Sangha became Mahayana. He traveled from northeast India to northwest India, which is now Afghanistan. And that's where they're blowing up Buddhist images and stuff.
Yeah, they are.
Idiots. But anyway, so there's a Sangha became Mahayana. Then he came home and he started teaching Mahayana. His brother Vasubandhu was still Hinayana. He was still following Vaibhashika. Then his brother heard that Vasubandhu heard that his brother was teaching Mahayana, and he criticized him. And then he went to one of his teachings, and in one night he became Mahayana. And then he went to his brother and he said, I apologize for criticizing you. And he offered to cut his tongue out. Yeah, he offered to cut his tongue out. And his brother's like, I don't know. I have an idea. And he said, I have an idea that you can do a 4 powers. You can do a confession and you don't have to cut your tongue out. And he said, well, what do you want me to do? He says, 4th power, which is what?
Antidote.
Balance the karma. He said, I want you to write a summary of the school you belonged to until last night. Okay? Because after we do our work, after we spread the Mahayana teachings, that's going to die out. That school will die out. And it has a lot of valuable things. It's a very valuable foundation for Mahayana. So I want you to write the mother book for Abhidharma. And he did. And that was called the Abhidharma Kosha. But at the end of many lines, he put the word, they say. He's reporting what the Vaibhashika believe, okay? And so in the Tibetan, they say is some variation on lo, or ro, or sero, or lo, okay? So here we have, okay, sung so, okay, dini tumbe sung solo. And this comes in the opening lines of the Abhidharma Kosha. You're going to hit it any day now. Okay? It's before he starts the Abhidharma Kosha, he says, they say this was spoken by the Buddha. Okay? Dini, this was spoken, sung by the Buddha. So, period. And then lo,
Double period.
I don't buy it. Okay? It was spoken by the Buddha, period. Lo, they say.
Oh.
Okay, so that's the end of the chuja for the Abhidharma Kosha. What's chuja?
The
Offering praise.
Yeah, when Vasubandhu finishes his bowing down to the person who dragged everybody across the swamp and removed the darkness, he's gonna say, I'm gonna speak the Abhidharma Kosha, and people say Tumbe Sung Solo. People say it was spoken by the Buddha. So Tsongkhapa's using Vasubandhu to prove that the school that Vasubandhu represents corrupted the teachings of the Buddha. You see? Okay? Chima Chen, right? Who stank it up. He said they stunk up the teachings for 800 years. Or 700 years. Okay? They stank up the teachings for 700 teachers. Look, it's not me who says so. At the end of the Abhidharma Kosha, he says so. They chuked it. And at the beginning of the Abhidharma Kosha, he says, they say it was spoken by the Buddha. Got it? Sorry, Stanley.
Disclaimer.
Okay.
This is major footnote material, right?
Yeah, because the audience who doesn't know the Abhidharma Kosha, by the way, Tsongkhapa's audience memorized the Abhidharma Kosha when they were kids. So he doesn't have to say, by the way, Vasubandhu said, or and in the monastery, most people have memorized most of it. So, okay.
If it was said that they corrupted the teaching, why do we still have to memorize it?
because 90% of it is extremely correct and valuable.
Oh, okay, just
Okay, mainly the teachings on emptiness were messed up, but the rest of it's extremely valuable, and it's a good foundation for all Buddhism. Everyone should learn it. Yeah.
Krishna, when Vasubandhu was asked to write down this book,
Mm-hmm.
by that time, did Asanga meet Maitreya already? Or?
No.
No, that's a good question. I don't know. You'll have to read his biography. I don't know.
So are we accusing Shariputra and Moggallana?
Don't go there. Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question.
I think the footnote has to be written carefully, otherwise this would become like
controversial.
Sure.
Yeah, and by the way, the southern Buddhist countries swear by the Abhidharma. They say it is their main book.
Oh.
We say they didn't get 3 of the 5 subjects. We say they went home too early. Okay.
It's the Abhidharma Kosha, not just the Pali
I
Canon.
think there's 7 books in Pali, 7 Abhidharma.
I believe there may be, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
Yes, 7.
Probably Pali.
in the Pali. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
They're still teaching it.
Uh,
You can't find it online.
Yeah.
It's a thing. 7
Yeah,
books.
and I believe if you, I mean, this is my opinion, okay, and I'm not embarrassed to talk about it. I think Buddhism in those countries feels a little stilted. It feels like it's not quite as healthy or not as exciting, or it's hard for people to follow. It never became, it stayed in the monasteries really. It never really entered national consciousness in the way that it did in China or Tibet or Japan or Korea. You know, it feels to me like I've been there. You know, I sat with the monks. I went begging with them. I talked to them because I was doing business in Sri Lanka, and it just doesn't feel the same to me. You know, okay. I went and got you the opening lines of the Abhidharma Kosha up to Dini Tumbe Sing Solo, okay? And that's the end of the Chujya, right there. And then starts the main text. Sakche Sapamechinam Lama Tobe Dujinim Sarche Kanjadena Lasanam Gunugibagyan, okay? That's the opening lines of the first chapter. So what I was trying to point out is, it's the last thing he says in the introduction. Then he starts the book, okay? Meaning, because people are suffering in the ocean of samsara, the Buddha spoke this teaching. So they say. They say means, they say the Buddha taught. They say it's ka. They say the 7 books are ka, are the word of the Buddha, direct word of the Buddha. Okay. All right. All right. Now that we've insulted half the Buddhist world, and you have to be careful. I mean, when you talk to like Vipassana people, you know, don't go shooting off your mouth, okay? Just say, oh, that's nice. Okay. Sangye nyangan le depe oktu. Oktu means after, right? Below. So after the Buddha passed into his final enlightenment. Duki le here means it's a noun.
Activities.
Yeah, the work of the
Demons.
yeah, the demon's work. Cher means got bigger. Yo means, this is the yo in yo.
Shake, to shake?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It like an earthquake, yo.
Yeah.
An earthquake is called sayo.
Sayo.
Earth
Yeah,
shake?
earth shake or sayom, same thing. So the yo means it spread. It spread, and it was, what do you call it? Upsetting things. Okay. Depa nam ki zimba soso ne langte. And I would translate this as something like the hard positions, or the positions of each school were getting more, what do you call it?
Rigid.
Rigid. Rigid's a good word. Okay. So,
Crystallized.
yeah, they were getting rigid. Okay. Lang means got more. Okay. The positions of the various schools hardened. Lower schools. Okay. And Pelcher Yupani to Tawa, the viewpoint, most of them began to believe in the viewpoint that Yupani,
Things exist.
yeah, the way they
Saw
seem,
themselves,
the way they seem, okay? The extreme of believing that the pen must be coming from the pen, which is here called isism. Isism, okay? The belief that things is, meaning is coming the way it looks like, okay? That viewpoint started to be widespread everywhere. Pelcher, got it? Tawa Ngumba Shemba means, this Shemba we talked about it yesterday. Shemba.
Oh, right.
Don't write me, just tell me what it was. Shemba. Shenyu.
Right, an
That
object.
was still other.
What you
No, not,
Yeah, strong belief, and implies a strong wrong belief. Okay, strongly attached. Shenba Shido is the lojong about freedom from the four attachments, right? The Sakya lojong. Number Shenba means, very much got Shenba to that viewpoint, that things exist the way they seem, which is called isism. Okay, he calls it Yupani. Yupani Ditawa. The view that things only exist. Okay? Number Shenbe. By the way, if you want to be sexy, I mean, when I go back to look at something, I put $3 signs so I don't have to struggle to find where I was. Let's go back about 10 pages. Okay? Those are all my notes, by the way. I'll give you the many pages back. Where was that? Here it is. No, I'm sorry. I'm on a different text. Okay, let's forget that. I think it's your text that says, whose text says that Nagarjuna destroyed existing and non-existing? Anyway, somebody's text here. Shenbe, it was your text maybe. Yeah, okay. Anyway, Chandu Semba Ludu,
the Bodhisattva Nagarjuna,
who had Nyepa, the level called Raptagawa,
who had reached the level called
perfect happiness.
Perfect
I like to call it perfect happiness. Ze,
said,
he wrote,
okay,
the book called Uma.
The commentary on Middle Way, or the book on the Middle Way.
Well, sometimes the book called Wisdom is just called Uma. And that's why Chandrakirti could write a book called Entering the Middle Way, which means a commentary on Nagarjuna. It doesn't mean generally entering the middle way. It means explaining Nagarjuna's book called Wisdom, or sometimes just called Middle Way. Okay, that he wrote. He didn't write it on his own. He tend on Sungram.
He relied on the great word.
Yeah, he relied on the word of the Buddha. Okay. And that description described Tongni.
Emptiness.
Yeah, in which Tsenma met.
Things have no indications.
Free of signs, yeah, or something like that.
Yeah.
In the great way, Mahayana. Okay. Ze, now there's a problem. Che Sumbataro.
Said it like that.
That's not edge.
Like.
It's like Che Sumba.
It's like.
What's this Che?
It's a
Quotation.
quotation.
The end quotation mark.
Yeah.
It's the end quotation mark.
Yeah.
That indicates that this paragraph is a
Quote.
Oh.
quotation.
Yeah.
So Tsongkhapa is, again, he's quoting somebody. So you gotta look out for these Ch's, okay? It means this is not Tsongkhapa talking. This is somebody else. Somebody else accused the demons of getting active after the Buddha, and somebody else accused all the schools of hardening their wrong positions, and somebody else accused them of believing that things come from their own side, those schools. And I went and got it for you.
So the tar
Okay.
is paraphrase?
It's 4016. And I'll show you something sexy, Stanley. Here's the Tohoku catalog entry, okay? And here's the author, Wensek, Chinese. Okay? This is one of the only books in the Tengyur that was originally written in Chinese.
Oh.
Okay? It's a common, and it's so respected in Tibet that they kept it in the Tengyur. Okay? And all I know is the Tibetan pronunciation of his name is Wensek. The name of the book is a commentary on the... Okay, now here's the name of it's a commentary to a book that's found in the Kangyur. It's a commentary to a book that's found in the Kangyur. The name of that book is What I Really Had in Mind. Okay? What I really meant to say. Who wrote it? A commentary on what I really meant to say. Who wrote it? Sandini Nirmochana. Who wrote it? Who wrote all the books in the Kangyur?
The Buddha.
So the Buddha wrote a book called A Commentary on What I Really Meant. The Buddha wrote a book called A Commentary. So are there any commentaries in the Kangyur?
Yeah.
Yes.
Auto commentary.
Yeah. The Buddha wrote a commentary called I'm going to write a commentary on what I really meant. Okay, and it's very, very famous for the study of
Madonna, yeah.
nope.
Chang'e.
It is the mother book of Chang'e.
wow.
It's the book that started all Chang'e. Who was the first person to write on Chang'e?
Lord Buddha.
Yeah, who's the first person to write a book on what the Buddha really meant?
The Buddha.
Yeah, the Buddha, okay? And all Chang'e books go back to that one. And one of the greatest commentaries was written by Wensek, and it's 3 volumes in the Tengyur.
Wow.
It's 1% of the Tengyur. More than. It's 1.5%. That's amazing. That's 3,000 pages. Okay? And he wrote the commentary. Okay? And it's one of the only commentaries that was written directly in Chinese and translated into Tibetan. Yep.
Do you know the time for this? And the second question.
By the way, here's the entry in the native catalog. I went and got it for you. It's volume D, volume T, and volume D. See, it means 3 volumes. A, B, C. Right here, down here. Okay.
Oh.
And here it clarifies that it was a Chinese citizen. He says Gyai Lopen, the master from China, named Wensek. Okay. That's the native catalog.
Is there a saying that when Buddha is saying what I really want to say, that's also not what he really wants to say? I heard about it.
No,
So
this is a commentary. Someone asked him, you turned the wheel 3 times.
Yeah.
First wheel, you didn't mention emptiness. You mentioned no self, but you didn't mention emptiness. And you kind of implied there might be a self. And in the second wheel, you said there's no self, and you called it emptiness. And then in the third wheel, you said, I went too far on the second wheel. It's kind of a compromise. And then, so somebody asked him, now, he got him in a room by himself, and he said, which of the wheels was the real one? And he said, the second one. Somebody got Lord Buddha alone in a room and said, which of the 3 was the real one? And he said, the second one. And this is the book in which he says it was the second one. And then all the books after that about Chang'e, of which the epitome, the highest one, the most amazing one is Tsongkhapa. His book on Chang'e Lekshen Nyingpo, which we should translate, because there's no good translation. We should translate it.
wow.
And it's short and it's powerful. And I spent 4 years on it with my Lama. And it's amazing. Okay, and it has one of the best presentations of the mind-only school, for example. And Wensek wrote a great commentary. I believe Tsongkhapa picks on Wensek sometimes. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
but generally he admires him. Generally he really admires him. But this is a very important book for us. It'd be interesting to translate it someday. I don't know if it exists in Chinese. Probably someone's retranslated it.
Abunga Rinpoche is Chinese disciple chance.
That 3 volumes,
The big one, right?
the 3,000 pages?
Or the Chang'e?
No, Wensek's commentary is 3,000.
Oh, not like she
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's translated it back into Chinese, or if it exists still in Chinese.
So he wrote in Chinese.
Yeah,
originally,
it's
and
one of the only books in the Tengyur.
then some Tibetan translated into Tibetan.
Yeah, and put it in the Tengyur, and then it may be lost in Chinese.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Technique.
I don't know if it exists in Chinese. Okay.
That's what you
What year?
Mostly, it's amazing, and sometimes people people will say, the Chinese master says this, but it means, but mostly they really respect it. Anybody who writes 3,000 pages about a small sutra, is pretty amazing. Okay.
Special.
And by the way, the sutra itself is only 291 pages. Okay.
His years are 6.
So he wrote 10 pages for every page. Wensek wrote 10 pages for every page. Is it Wensek? Do you know?
I found it in TBRC.
Really?
And he is a disciple of Master Xuanzang.
Of who?
Master Xuanzang.
Wow.
That's like
Wow.
613.
What's his real name?
He said it's translated into Tibetan, and then Jason Kappa admired it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is, he quotes it here.
Like, come on,
He quotes it here.
Not bad.
that time. Yeah.
Not bad. That's-
哪个圆？
Krishna, when you say that like
Yes.
Buddha wrote an auto commentary, you mean he gave a teaching on it, right? We don't,
Yeah, presumably it was oral. He didn't write anything.
At least the tradition is that we say that he didn't write anything down, right? Yeah.
No, I doubt that he wrote anything down. I've never seen any mention of him writing anything. So, is somebody trying to stop me? Are we out of time?
Oh, no, we're because you
the
started at
exposition-
7.
Yeah, well, he gets the extra time.
Middle of
Yeah.
the thing, right?
Yeah, we expostulated in the middle of words, so he keeps the.
So we can
And
go
anyway, his text is so sexy, I want to keep going.
another 18 minutes on this one.
You have to say, I have the best one, Warren. Okay.
I have the
No,
By the way, the word expostulate means to express strong disapproval.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Just saying.
Google is wrong, okay? Google is wrong.
Touche.
Sometimes it
I looked at a few
happens.
dictionaries.
Google's not right all the time.
No, it's not Google.
Why you pick
I don't care.
this word? Why is this one?
It's a big fancy
debate
word
about
that's
it.
kind of funny. That's why I picked it. Of course you know I will pick that. Okay, let's go word. Data do.
Data du ring me war.
Come on.
Ring me bardu.
Pardu. If the word before is a genitive, John's book, then this cannot be the second syllable of some noun. So it's got to be par. Pardu.
Until
Dupta okma.
Dutar okma shintu
Tar. Stop there. Okay. Detar. Detar.
Data just
In that way,
in that way
tu ringmo.
for a long period of time.
Yeah, during mo, same thing. Okay, for a long period of time. Pardu means for a period of time.
Until? Isn't it
It doesn't really mean it. It just means for a long interim.
Oh, I see.
You know, during a long period. It just means period. The Okma Duptas.
The lower schools
Yeah, tar.
spread,
Shindu.
very spread.
Yeah, spread widely, okay? Whereas, la, soft disjunctive, right? Whereas, the Tekchen,
The Mahayana, the greater way,
and this is an idiom, the next thing is an idiom, was left Mingtsam Yang Mepa.
was overlooked,
No, Mepa means
not
didn't exist.
uh,
Even the,
even the name.
yeah, they were left, even the
nameless.
name disappeared.
Mm,
Even the name Mahayana disappeared. Okay, Mingtsam Yang Mepa means no trace. It's a way to say no trace. Okay, it means you couldn't even hear their name anymore. Okay,
Yeah.
it means without a trace. Okay, and then that traceless school, Lurdub Ki,
by Aryanagarjuna,
yeah, he dar the Tekchen.
he spread the greater way.
Yeah, and in so doing, restored it, sulta, you know,
Right.
founded
He
it.
founded it.
Yeah, refounded it. Here it just says founded. Okay.
Okay.
After that,
After that, Master Asanga,
yeah, he sulta
he founded
gepar.
and spread
Yeah, the Semtampitawa.
the view of the mind-only school.
Good. So you know, the author Tsongkhapa is trying to point out how the Mahayana came back, and then Asanga mind-onlyized it. Okay, 150 years after Nagarjuna. Okay, according to Western dating. Okay, got it. So he still wants to show this deep connection between the mind-only and Nagarjuna, only that mind-only is a variant on the Mahayana. Okay, which was refounded by Nagarjuna. So Nagarjuna played a role in the mind-only school in that he recovered the middle way, and then Asanga interpreted it the mind-only way. Okay, Got it? And then Baba Viveka, in criticizing it, preserved its viewpoints in the way that Vasubandhu preserved the Abhidhamma. Okay. Okay. Ludwig Tang, go.
Ludwig Tang taught me.
By the way, excuse me for interrupting you, but it's something I like to do. As Veronica reminds me. By the way, she's coming today for pizza, which is cool. The next school is going to address the question of whether or not there was any middle way and mind only. Guess.
Before.
Yeah, during the gap. You know, after Buddha, up to the time of the Nagarjuna, we would say 700 years, 7 centuries. Was there any Majjhimika left? Was there any mind only going on? That Tsongkhapa is going to address this question. Okay, Ludwig Tang.
Ludwig Tang taught me ki
Lundu. What's that mean?
Before.
Yeah, before what?
Before Arya Sangha and Arya Nagarjuna.
Good. It's Sipa.
Its existence.
Nope. Well, Misi.
Impossible.
Yeah.
So this means.
Possible.
Okay, now here's Jetsun Kappa. Somebody asked him, was there any mind only, and was there any middle way before them? And he says,
It was possible.
Si, kyang, but. USC means, you know, it's possible it was there.
Yeah.
Ming Tsam only.
A name only.
Yeah, just the name, you know, not any teachings per se. Just the name was floating around. It's possible. What name? Uma and Nelja Chupa.
The name Madhyamika and Yogacharya.
Yeah, meaning mind only. Okay, it's possible those names were floating around, you know, after the Buddha and before these two people. But Doi Gompa Drupta Ni.
The real intent of the schools.
The two schools. That
Well, let's
lay
go
out
to
the
Del.
traditional
Okay,
sutras.
Del is to make a Del. Del is to make a Del.
Connection? No.
No, Del.
Oh, commentary.
Yeah, to make a commentary. Okay. By the way, if you care, it's related to the verb cholwa,
To go?
to liberate,
Oh.
and it literally means to untie a knot. The Tibetan word for commentary is directly derived from the word to untie a knot, a tough knot. Okay.
Great the meaning.
And it's related to the word tara, who liberates people, who unties people. You see? So they're all related. So Delwa, commentaries which treat the intent of the sutras through these two separate schools. Okay, commentarial traditions which use these two schools, which is
Mind only.
mind only and Madhyamika, to explain the meaning of what the Buddha taught. Doi Gompa, okay. Shung Dzupa means a commentarial tradition. Dzuk means to establish, right? Okay, the establishment of major scriptures which commented on what the Buddha meant by using these two separate schools. Okay? Ngar Temba Kona Tarsa. I made a note to myself because this is a difficult phrase. As Ngar Temba here means as I mentioned above. It doesn't mean taught by the Buddha previously or something like that. As I mentioned above, Konatar Sung means started. Okay? So a scriptural tradition using these two schools to explain what the Buddha meant only began as I have outlined it above. Okay? Te. Meaning there was no scriptural tradition
Of the middle way and the middle.
of these two schools before Nagarjuna or Sangha. Okay? It's meaning, look, it only began as I have told you already. It's not the case that there was any scriptural tradition after Buddha. and up to Nagarjuna, where somebody was using these two schools to explain what the Buddha meant. It didn't exist, okay? Shendu. And then he gives a logic for that, okay? He gives his logic for that. Shenduna, if it were otherwise, okay? If it were otherwise, meaning?
If it happened in another
Yeah,
way.
if there had been a scriptural tradition of the mind only and middle way in the time after the Buddha up to Nagarjuna, if there had been, what do you think he's going to say? I mean, logically.
Masters would have written commentaries about the true intent of the word of the Buddha.
No, if there had been a strong,
It would have.
Oh, we'd know about it. I mean, it would
who would have quoted it?
Nagarjuna.
Yeah, Nagarjuna would have quoted it. Okay, and he didn't. He didn't say, he never mentions a middle way book before him. He doesn't quote any middle way book. Okay, if there was any kind of mind only or Majjhimika tradition in the 700 years between the Buddha's death and Nagarjuna, he would have quoted it. Okay, got it? Here we go. Shenduna, otherwise, Ludup Togme Sok. They should have, good, okay, they should have indicated that there were some kind of commentaries or masters, which commented upon the meaning of the word of the Buddha, okay, and which reflected some kind of establishment of a Mahayana school. But he doesn't. They don't. Okay, got it? Deyang nyepa mayeno. We don't see any such thing, meaning we didn't find it. And that's a very logician statement to make.
Yeah.
He doesn't say there weren't any. He says we don't see any.
Yeah.
You know, maybe the Nagas took them. I don't know. Okay, so he's very correct logician. He says we don't see it. It doesn't. And he's implying maybe it exists, but nobody ever saw it. Okay, got it. I like that. I like that argument.
Which might imply that he knows something.
It might be. Yeah. No one ever found it, but I did. Maybe. And that's a curious thing to me when I think about it. You know, there's never gone 50 years without lots of commentaries pouring out.
Yeah.
And there's 800 years with nothing. 700 years with nothing. That's kind of amazing. The first thing in the Tengyur that I know of is Ashvagosha, like the 50 verses on lamas and things like that, Chandragomi. These are around the time of Nagarjuna, or 100 years before Nagarjuna. That's the earliest. She got 600 years without a commentary. You know, it's kind of amazing. Okay.
At least in classical Sanskrit, right?
Huh?
There are a bunch of Pali texts written down before.
Yeah.
What's that?
And Xuanzang, well, anyway, Buddhism entered China around that time, or first time, in the beginning. So, anyway. Dedardeshin Shekpe, Lungtembe Lopen Deni, Du Chitsam Nechungna. Now Jesokapa feels like he's beaten that dog enough. That's an English expression. He beat that dog enough. Now he's ready to go. Horse?
Dead horse.
He beat the horse. He
yeah.
beat a dead horse. So he proved his point.
We could beat a
Doesn't
dog
matter how
too.
much-
Finally, Tsongkhapa is willing to go on, which is very Tsongkhapa. He's like, okay, now let's leave that. These two masters, who were Lungtemba
Who were prophesized.
by the Buddha, in that way, meaning now he's talking about those books he quoted, the root text of Manjushri Tantra, and and the Lanka Shekpa, Journey in Langa. He says those. Now let's talk about the masters, the two masters that were predicted by Lord Buddha, as I mentioned. Okay, Du Chinsam Ne Chung. When did they appear? You know, what historical period did they appear? Like what century did they show up? Okay, Sheno. Let's talk about Papa Ludrup. Ni. Let's talk about Arya Nagarjuna. The root tantra The root tantra, thanks a lot. There's probably 20 or 30 of them.
Yeah.
Okay, the root tantra says, oh, thanks. Okay, which means we have to go find it. Well, yeah, and hopefully it matches what we have in the Kangyur.
4 minutes, Kasha.
Okay. Ngani nyangan deoktu. Okay, after I pass away into nirvana, loni shipya lumbana. Lumba means pass.
Yeah,
After 400 years have passed, comma dot dot dot. Okay, I believe it's taken from the quotation we already had.
Oh.
The Manjushri text?
Here, let's go check. Let's go look up lumba, which is unusual word. Oops, sorry.
You're just looking at our.
Oh no, this is the first time. Okay. Is it lut? I'm just curious. I thought we had it.
We had a mention of Manjushri Tantra.
Oh yeah, to reach it, we had it somewhere.
Let's look up 400.
96 documents.
Wow.
No, this is the first time. I think we had it in somebody else's book.
Yeah, I suppose.
When you do 8 books at once, it's a little trouble. Okay.
Jumbled. Time gets jumbled.
Gongdel ki delchen bambo dunju tsangapale. The 75th bambo. Okay.
Collection.
Bambo just means like bambo. I don't know what it is in Sanskrit. This is Tibetan, right? But it's just a unit of measurement. Now, units of measurement, unless they're close to something in your culture, sometimes you just have to leave the foreign word. Like, is it mu in acre? It's the size of a piece of land, right? Yeah, there's 6 mus per acre, I think. And there's like 2 acres per hectare. It's better to just leave it in the foreign language unless it's close. You know, like yojana, which is the ancient Sanskrit word for mile, it's about 1.5 miles. So sometimes you can leave it as mile. But measurements, like inch or meter, usually you're going to have to use the foreign word, or convert it. Or if the guy says he lives a zillion miles away, you can use your own word for mile, because he's not giving us an exact measurement. So one of the only places in a book where I want to see you guys use a foreign word is for measurements. Okay.
But with tonight, you're going to be exact.
Yeah. So then you would use the foreign word.
When you
Or
convert
calculate
it,
if you have
That you have to keep in the foreign language. Yeah.
if you have that.
Because there's a power to the Sanskrit.
Yeah, like in my text there is mantra.
Yeah, leave it.
So,
You leave it.
Live in Tibetan?
No, in Sanskrit.
It is Tibetan. Or Sanskrit.
No.
So it's from Tibetan. We write in Sanskrit in our translation.
Mantras, the power comes from the sound, so you have to leave it. Yeah.
Leave it.
All mantras, yeah.
It's 8:30.
You can explain the mantra, but you can't. The power of a mantra is the Sanskrit. So, okay.
It's our time.
Okay, we're not going to say. Anyway, this is the great commentary. It may be Wensek, I'm not sure. To the Gongdel. Gongdel means Sandinir Mochana. Sandini. Sandi Nirmochana, which means explanation of what the Buddha really meant, which is that sutta where he explains what he really meant. Commentary on the true thought should be translated as commentary on what I really meant. Okay, because it's Buddha. It's very confusing. It says commentary and it's not a commentary. It's Lord Buddha explaining what he meant. Anyway, we're going to stop there, but that quotation says 200 years after the Buddha.
We're not looking at that quote yet.
We're not going to do it yet. Yeah. But it does say Lo Nigya here, okay? 200 years. So some people say 400 years, some people say 200 years, okay? And Okay? And you know, some people say he lived 900 years long, so a couple hundred years here and there, it doesn't matter. All right. By the way, in your text, we got 2.5 pages in 5 sessions, which is about half our goal. We didn't go as fast as I wanted to go. I'm trying to figure, one, you should do 2 folios a session, ideally, to finish in a year. So it's going to take about 18 months, I think. So, okay. Because Geshe Michael talks too much. We don't get to count 1A because that was the title page. You finished 2 pages. Shin Puki Jokshin Metok Tram Rira Bling Yende Kempadi Sangye Shindu Nikte Uwargi Joku Namdak Shingla Chuparsho Inam Guru Rana Mandala Kamiyatayami Di Gewokun Sunam Yeshe Tsotso Shing Sunam Yeshe Le Chungwe Tambar Kunyi Tobar Sho